KL is one that we frequent a lot, so always have good memories of KL. I guess you can count Selangor as one of them, right? So we played Urbanscapes, I think their 10th anniversary, which was in Selangor. That was a great experience as well.
Probably start with Manila, and we had the privilege of being shown around by a very good producer, music producer, and a good friend of ours there. The quality of musicians there, incredible. Kind of a whole league ahead, I feel. Just in terms of how progressive and creative the artists there are, and that's just their normal, that's just the status quo for them. There was this guy, Shom Kashwak, something like that. He was playing an entire set from Nintendo Game Boys, which he MIDI routed and circuit hacked, and he played a really amazing set. Just a lot of diverse, crazy stuff. So we really like that energy, and a lot of young indie rock kind of hungry bands just dominating the scenes. Very, very nice.
Yeah, shout out to Nick Lazaro from Moonwalk. Yeah, he's an awesome producer, yeah.
Yeah.
And Pat.
Yeah.
Penang, I've actually played a couple of times here as well over the last few years, and it's always nice playing in the Georgetown area. You know, it's always fun, like the place is always packed, and they have a lot of fun my time here. Where else? I've actually played I did a little promo tour like Bandung and Yogyakarta as well. Yeah, I really enjoyed my time there. And Java Jazz Festival, and also I think we did a youth jazz festival in Bogor. Yeah.
Jakarta?
Well, we kind of played Java Sounds Fair, which is like an international festival of sorts, but we haven't actually played any like underground gigs there, but we do know some Indonesian bands that have played in Singapore. There's a very Indonesian sound, I would say, bands like Trees and the Wild, White Shoes and Couples Company, and Bottled Smoker. They have some sort of Indonesian sound which isn't easily describable, but at the same time, the moment you hear it, you know that this is Indonesian indie.
I don't know, a bit laid back, shoegazy, but very upbeat at the same time.
Yeah.
But for some reason, there's an Indonesian flavor to it.
Well, yeah, it's not just the language; it's something more about we've yet to
figure that out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then of course there's Malaysia, so we played. So Indonesia we can't be too fair because it was a big international festival, but Malaysia, we've done quite a few of the underground shows.
Yeah.
Lots of independent collectives running their own shows and their own money and their own time.
It's very DIY.
I mean, we have a scene like that back in Singapore as well, but the pool of people are just dwindling. I feel, I don't know, maybe I'm just not seeing them. But yeah, Malaysian people have been really pushing their own, like helping other bands in this very sort of altruistic, loving way, and just a very raw energy from Malaysian musicians, audiences. They're just very, very passionate people.
Yeah, they have really good performance venues as well.
Yeah.
And these are all like not state sponsored. Yeah, so we're really impressed by the quality.
I think there's a question that's been asked a lot, but I feel like I'm not in a place to answer because it's probably something that needs to be, properly qualified, like in retrospect. I don't know. I think we're living in a very exciting time, and I think there's no better time to do music, and original music, for that matter. Feels like a bit of a renaissance period, I think. But I don't think we actively go out and try and, let's just make the Singapore sound. I don't think you can conceptualize it that way. I think you just make whatever you like, really. You make what you want to hear. And I think that sound would probably be better, understood in retrospect.
It's always the hardest question.
Yeah.
I feel it's very different from, say, the very polished signed pop acts, and they've got this very current trendy sound, and they're almost always just celebrating love or heartbreak or something of the sort. So that's kind of more universal and less unique. But I'm thinking about like what characterizes Singaporean underground bands, and I've always felt that there's a certain form of entrapment or ennui about the content of their lyrics and kind of, I mean, in the same way lah, as like you will have the American dream and all of that. You know, there's this very Singaporean toil in our own kind of flavor to many of the more underground bands or the more indie bands that we're thinking of. Like you think of Pleasantry, or you think about
Plain Sunset,
B Quartet, like, you know, very quintessential Singapore bands.
So those are the
you
older
think about
bands.
Humpback Oak and The Observatory, and you know, there's always that kind of
Dissatisfaction,
more than that.
restlessness, I guess. Yeah, the ennui is a good, ennui is a good word, I guess.
That I feel that we all kind of an unspoken shared feeling. That's also very liberating when you hear connecting so many.
But I mean, those themes carry across in other Singaporean artworks as well, like poetry.
Thinking about
Like, Boy Kim Cheng, who else? Alfian's poetry, not really. He's this, What about Cyril
Wong,
Yeah.
man, my favorite poet of all time.
Or even Singaporean films. Eating Air
Eating Air.
by Kelvin Tong and Jasmine Young.
One of our faves.
Even Apprentice,
Yeah.
that emotion behind it, that restlessness. More recently, Shirkers, which she had a part in. Yeah, because she did one of the songs for Shirkers. And that one's gonna be out soon, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, it's
Actually, October. And
Yeah.
that's one of the most interesting Singapore films I've ever seen. It's mind-blowingly good. Yes.
It's not biased.
Anyhow, Salid,
Yeah.
shout out. But
I mean, but it is-
honestly, it's really, really damn good.
Yes, I mean, I'm not a sociologist, but I have a feeling it's just like, just we're able to pursue our passions a lot better than like our previous generations would. And I think that's part of like, you know, first of all, better education. A lot of us are more comfortable to begin with, you know, and then we are seeking like self-actualization, you know what I mean? And just like trying to figure out how do we like fulfill our potential, right? And whether it's through the science or the arts or, you know, tech, whatever it is, like I think young people are exploring, you know, different possibilities. Obviously technology has got a huge part to play in it, the internet, the way that different music from around the world has reached like, you know, younger generations. I think that's definitely a huge part. The barrier of entry is a lot lower as well. So yeah, not just in Singapore, but I think all around the world, everyone's making their own music or art.